This is our sitting room with the stove and a plasterboard ceiling. I've not managed to find any joists that are going to be in the right place. I've used this template that they provide you, a cardboard template, and the holes are not going to be in the right place to catch any of the ceiling joists. So what I've done is I've just slightly out of sequence really, I've attached the rack, assembled the rack here just still loose, and attached it to the framework of the concertina part, and I've made a plate, a wooden plate. I put the screws in the wrong place to start with, and just temporarily attach that. So what I'll do is have 4 of these Fischer Duotec plasterboard anchors to hold that wooden plate onto the ceiling. And this is actually I've cut down some longer bolts and screwed the plate on like that to make sure that instead of using 2 screws through there, which would just pull through the ceiling probably. So now I'm going to, just because this this bracket is off center, to allow the pulley mechanism which goes in there. You see it's kind of off center, so I'm just working out how that will go in relation to the distance from the wall. Now I'm scrabbling about on the floor here, but as you can see, this piece here with the 2 holes attaches to that part of the pulley. So I've lined that up like that, and my wooden plate is 16 centimeters wide, and just use this square to roughly get the edge of the assembly. And now I'm measuring, so I'm looking at roughly 215, say 21.5 centimeters to the edge of my wooden plate. So I think to allow space for the clothes that might stick out, and to leave a gap between the wall, which will be here, I'm going to go for 30 centimeters from the wall. And the distance from the corner, I'm using the cardboard template and just getting myself more or less centered along that section of wall to the pipe. So I'm going to come 28 to the holes, 28 centimeters to the holes. So I just need to measure the wooden plate to make sure I get that in the right way. I screwed the 4 holes through my fixing plate, and not one of them bit into a joist. They all just go. I can feel the insulation through all 4 of them. So I'm going to drill 10mm holes now to put my fixing anchors through. That's the 4 holes drilled, as you can see, and with a big 10mm bit it's made a bit of a mess, but hopefully the wooden plate will cover those. But I'm going to need to paint the wooden plate white as well anyway, because it's just ordinary plywood. And these Fischer wall anchors for plasterboard, there's an arrow there, so that's the way they will go into the hole, hopefully. See how easy. So the arrow is pointing up and it's a bit of a push. There we go. And that's it. Sprung. And these plastic things, just these collars just slide up. I'm trying to do it one-handed, of course. And they slide up this strap. It's a bit like a cable tie, and they lock into place in that hole. There we go. I did need to give it a slight tap with a small hammer and pulled that tight, and now you can just wiggle this back and forwards to break this strap, which is no longer needed. Easier said than done. There we go. And I'll repeat that for the other 3 holes. So that's a wooden plate made for the other end of the pulley, and it's just bolts that I've cut down to size 6mm, I think. And yeah, the bit of head that's still proud, that'll just dig into the plaster, so it won't be a problem when I screw it to the ceiling. I've put the 2 screws in there, and that is the in line, okay, there, and that is also where this bracket slots in, you see, into there. Okay, so knowing that the center of this board comes up and matches with those screws there and is in line with that hole nearest to the wall over here. Okay, so I'm just going to climb up here, and what I will do is place this so that the center of this lines up with the hole nearest to the ceiling. And now I can measure the gap there to there is 20 millimeters. I now know that my board needs to be 20 millimeters nearer to the wall. And that one's in place, ready to mount the whole unit. And of course afterwards I'll have to paint it. Let's just finish this. Well, that's it finished. I've just got to trim these cords, and Susie is not amused. She wants to play ball instead of watch me do this. But if I operate the cord in the down way, thank you, Susie. That's it, coming down, ready to load up with laundry. That's what it looks like. And yeah, this clutch mechanism is fantastic. You can't hear any kind of ratchet or anything. It's very clever. And that's it in its up position. This tends to sag a little bit sometimes, but I'm quite pleased with that. And you can see the proximity to the wall there. That's worked out very well. And overall, if I come back here, it looks not too bad. Certainly be very functional and help us dry the washing.